Ever thought about the last time you were exhausted, but instead of sleeping, you just grab an energy drink or an iced coffee? For many young adults, there isn't one time it makes it a lifestyle. We tend to wake up early, however, stayed up late and squeeze our sleep between school, work, and responsibilities. Because of all this, it's a lot of us feel tired every single day and rely on caffeine just to function. This is something almost every student experiences. As a student myself, I have a few struggles, which balancing work, school, sleep, and stress. All this, all of this made me rely on one thing, which is caffeine. Caffeine helps me push through, but after researching the topic, I realized how common and harmful this habit really is. Young adults tend to rely on caffeine to replace the sleep, but habit damages physical health, mental performance, and long term well being. Prioritizing real sleep instead of stimulants leads into a stronger focus, better mood, and a healthier living. So today I'm going to explain why young adults are dangerously sleep deprived, how caffeine is used to replace for sleep and why it makes the problem worse. And number three, healthy strategies to help young adults sleep more and rely on caffeine less. So the first problem is simple. Most young adults are not getting enough sleep, and according to the National Library of Medicine, many people are not reaching to the recommended 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night, which means their body and minds are getting the rest they need. Sleep deprivation doesn't just make you tired, it just damages your mental health. Stanford Medicine reports the lack of sleep increases anxiety, depression, and irritability, and difficult thinking clearly. When you're running on little sleep, everything feels harder, which is schoolwork, conversations, even basic decision making. Sleep loss also harms the body. The National Institute of Health explains that long term sleep deprivation raises the risk of weight gain, high blood pressure, and a weak immune system, and also hormone balance. Your body literally cannot function properly without enough rest. And for students, sleep deprivation destroys the academic and work performance. The American Academy of Sleep Medicine found that being sleep deprived affects your memory, focus, and reaction time the same way as being mildly intoxicated. So, in simple terms, young adults are running themselves empty mentally, emotionally, and physically. Let's look at the cause and to continue caffeine. It gives us a feeling of being awake, but temporarily and misleading. The Sleep Foundation explained that the caffeine works by blocking adenosine, adenosine, the chemically that naturally makes you feel tired. So the energy you feel isn't real. It's your brain being tricked in because of your young adults often use caffeine instead of sleep. College students, shift workers, and young professionals rely on coffee, energy drinks, pre workout, soda, and even caffeine pills. This becomes a habit and eventually it dependence. But caffeine actually makes you sleep even worse. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine found that consuming caffeine even 6 hours before bed reduces total sleep time and damages sleep quality. This creates a cycle that leads to feeling constantly exhausted, anxious, weird but not focused, and unable to sleep at night. Caffeine doesn't solve sleep deprivation, it hides it, and it's a long run. It makes everything worse. Now let's talk about solutions. Real ways young adults can break the cycle and start feeling better, which is most importantly is creating a consistent sleep schedule. The American Academy of Sleep Medicine recommends going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends. This stabilizes your body hormones and reduces fatigue. And another solution is that to limit caffeine, especially after 2 p.m., that gives your brain time to let adenosine work normally so you can fall asleep at night. You can also replace caffeine with healthier alternatives like drinking water, stretching, or even just spending 5 minutes in the sunlight that can naturally boost your alertness without hurting your sleep. Improving sleep quality also makes a big difference. This includes turning off screen and an hour before bed, keeping your room cool in the dark, avoiding heavy late night meals, and using calming habits like journaling or meditation. And finally, young adults need to build a mindset that sleep is a real energy source. When you prioritize sleep, everything that improves your focus, mood, memory, stress levels, and performance at school or work. Fixing sleep habit goes directly to the root of the problem instead of masking exhaustion with caffeine. So, in conclusion, young adults today are chronically sleep deprived, exhausted, and depending too heavily on caffeine. It does give a temporary boost, but it destroys sleep, creating the harmful cycle of fatigue. Prioritizing real sleep through healthier habits and reduced caffeine intake restores the mental clarity, physical health, and emotional balance. So at the end of the day, caffeine helps for a moment, but sleep helps for a lifetime. Choosing rest isn't being lazy. It's choosing a long-term health, focus, and strength.